Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Bullhorn Betty decided to go live on 10/10/2024 after being in court and the judge giving her specific instructions not to speak on the Bowersocks or the Proudfoot family. She decided that she was going to do just that, talk about the family of the missing child and continue her harassment against them. Also, she decided it would be a good idea to call for the help of her followers, which in my opinion is considered third party. In my opinion, she basically said, to hell with what the judge said, I'm going to do what I want to do. Also in this video, I show you what the judge actually said on the stand when addressing Bullhorn Betty about her actions against the Bowersocks and the Proudfoots. So let's get started.
This video is covered under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, etc.
I know everybody's been very worried about me, so I know you're hearing a lot of from the hate channels. There's a few things that I'm going to say. We're not going to take a whole lot of time because I just got back. I've had a very long day, as you guys can imagine. And there's just a few things that I need to say to everybody that's out here that has been supporting me, has been supporting Seth's team, and has more importantly been supporting Sebastian. Today we took a little bit of a hit, but it's going to hopefully be short-lived. We'll see how it goes. I will say that the corruption in Sumner County is a lot bigger than I had originally anticipated. All I want my audience to know at this moment is that we do have a plan. I don't want anybody worrying about me. We will be leaning on our audience here in just a little bit, and I'll let you guys know when that time comes. Hey, Ricky, it's nice to see you, my love. Nice to see you. I know everybody's been praying. I will tell you, as soon as we walked into the courtroom, we knew we weren't going to get a fair shake. Literally popped right out of the mouth of babes. So we kind of anticipated this not being very good. I'm an outsider. This is Tennessee. We know how Tennessee rolls. We know that there's corruption in these small towns. We know that the politicians and the people with big pockets are the ones that pull the weight in there. And we know we have a construction company that works there and develops property. And in Manatee County, developers have all the politicians in their pockets, the ones that want money. They are beholden to their voters, not people that are non-voters. So there is, in my opinion, a political aspect to all of this as well. But my strongest message is that they're not going to take away my voice. They're not going to silence Sebastian's army. They're not going to silence Seth Rogers, his father, that's been fighting for him. And they're not going to silence the team that has been sitting here and working and advocating for Sebastian for a very long time. This is a case that was won on emotional grounds, not legal ones, in my opinion. And I believe that there is definitely corruption. We have found what we've been screaming for. Everybody always reaches out on every single case we cover and says, this town's corrupt, this town's corrupt. And we've never seen real corruption in town. I mean, outside of, the typical political corruption of, the county commissioners taking taxpayers, raising taxpayers, having their friends, the silos of cash of ours that they keep, all this other stuff. We've dealt with that. We've uncovered that in the past. But this was totally improper, in my opinion. But long story short, it doesn't really matter what my opinion is. At this point, all that matters is that we have a plan. We're going to be executing that plan. And again, we may need the assistance of our audience. And you guys know that when it comes to assistance, we have an uphill battle here. If we don't fight this, in my opinion, then anytime we go into a community and cover a case and we sit there and believe that somebody is responsible for a crime, we will not be able to say that. We will not be able to have our voice to say that our rights to have our own opinions, our government's trying to take away from us. So we're not going to stand for that. We can't. It doesn't matter whether people like my commentary or not. It's mine to have on my channel. It's the American way. And to be honest with you, I think that the ruling today was wrong. Now, what do we do from there? Again, I can't speak on the case any further than what I'm saying to you guys now. But I need you to trust and believe that there is a bigger plan out there. And we have a plan. And this is not going to be gone because a judge in a county says that a condition precedent, like proper service, doesn't matter. You see what I'm saying? You can't go to B without A. Proper service is not something you play with, okay? You either have proper service or you do not. It is not one that they can say, oh, well, she knew about it and we gave her 24 hours or 48 hours to get here for it. That's proper service. No, it's not. So we're going to go ahead and work our butts off. We're going to find a way to continue to keep Sebastian's name alive, even though there is people out there that would love nothing more than this child's name never to be said, and would love nothing more than this child to be swept under a rug so they don't have to pay the consequences of their actions. And they lied under oath and utilized a court system improperly with the help of a law enforcement body and a judge. This didn't start with those people. This started with the hate channels. This was all conjured up by the hate channels. The hate channels are the ones that did this, okay? Let's make no mistake what they think they've done. It's not going to stop. As you can see, the beautiful shirt that was made for me, I was lied on, plotted against, bullied, and still standing. That is the Bullhorn Betty way. That is absolutely the Bullhorn Betty way. And we are not going to go without a fight. We'll see where this goes. If hashtags are what is needed to throw somebody in jail this day and age, every last person on this platform, the 945 people in this chat right now, are in jeopardy of going to jail. That's what that judge just said today. Okay? So you need to think long and hard, because your hashtags could have you arrested next. Your opinion about parents being responsible for the disappearance or unaliving of their child, you speaking that out of your mouth, could put you in jail here in America. This is a very slippery slope. And this is a very slippery slope that county conjured up. That county, that so-called conservative county conjured up. So we are going to still fight, not just for my voice, but for Sebastian's voice, for Seth's voice, for Tony's voice, for all the victims' voices out here that are victims of these hate channels. We will not stop. This boy deserves to be found. We have a right to believe what we believe. We have a right to speak in America about our thoughts, opinions, and criticism without obstruction from our government. Without obstruction from our government, or our government telling you what kind of shirt you're allowed to wear or what kind of words can come out of your mouth. And that's what that judge told me today. That he's upset about my shirt that I wore. My First Amendment right to clothe myself. I want you guys to think about that. And I want you guys to think about that very long and hard, that a judge, one single judge, can judge me and tell me I shouldn't have wore a shirt. That is a violation here in America. Absolutely a violation here in America. I have a right to clothe myself. I have a right to put any damn shirt on that I choose to put on. If my audience sends me a shirt and I choose to wear it, that is my God-given right here in America. My God-given right. As you guys can see, I'm a very strong person. I will continue to be a strong person. My rights were violated. My rights were violated. And you could be next. We are going to put an end to this violation. It's a very significant violation of law, not just for me, but for other people that might be in my shadows in a year, in 2 years, in next week. Next week. We are Sebastian's army. We are Sebastian strong. We forge ahead. That's what we do. We support the creators that are supporting this boy and are supporting his father. No exception. No exception. People can watch me all they want, and they can talk crap about me in their own chats. They can plot against me. They can threaten my life. They can dox me. And then they can turn around and lie under oath and say I did it to them. That is a shame. Process. Service of process is not an option. Okay? Proper service is the only way to go from point A to point B. Without point A being done, you cannot go to point B. And that's what that judge did. He jumped over A to get to B. So I just want everybody to know, I thank you for your love, your support, your prayers. I know a lot of people felt down, and it was just like the day that I got arrested. People were crying around me, and like I said, we've got to go through this walk. We are going to go through this walk, and we are going to see the fruits of this labor down the road. But this is a walk we as Americans must go through, because if we don't, somebody else will be next. Somebody else will be lied on and be allowed to be lied on without any due process whatsoever. A clear violation of law. So again, that's just my 2 cents. That's why I feel the community in the county there is corrupt. We do have a plan, and that is my statement related to this action. We will no longer be discussing any type of legal stuff. But from this point forward, we're getting back on track. We're going to be advocating for this young boy. We're going to be strumming up leads. We are going to keep those leads out of that county. We're going to give them to the FBI. If they want to filter them back down, they may. But we are done. They don't want our help. We'll go out and find this boy ourselves. Clearly, they're not getting off their duff to do it. Okay? No searches. So this was very, again, obviously, I'm upset about the ruling, but I'm also confident that it emboldened something a little bit bigger that will be good, the silver lining of all this. And you know, we live in the world of silver lining. And I hope to God that whatever plan we have is successful. Who knows? I have no earthly idea whether we're going to be successful or not. But what I can tell you is I feel like we have a good plan.
This is Caitlin Quisenberry has more on what was discussed in court and the judge's final ruling on a protection of order for Christopher Proudfoot. Caitlin.
The last time these two parties were in court was in September for 3 different order of protections against the YouTuber Andrew Griffin. And today, the judge added Sebastian's stepfather to the growing list of people worried for their safety. The nearly 4-hour hearing started with the reminder of First Amendment rights. Griffin said multiple times on the stand that she never directly contacted Christopher, nor had ever met him. She did, however, state that she would visit his neighborhood to allegedly get a better understanding of the layout and put up flyers of missing Sebastian Rogers. And at one point, she also admitted to going to Christopher's place of work. Christopher also sat on the stand and claimed he felt unsafe with Griffin broadcasting his personal life and private life.
When your client goes to my job, my house, my campsites, yes, that is stalking.
On that you just testified to, have you ever spoken or communicated with Mr. Proudfoot in any form?
No, sir.
Do you recognize him?
Only by interviews on media as well as alternative media.
Are you talking about your interviews or other interviews?
People. I've never met him in person.
I spoke with Christopher after the hearing ended. He did not want to go on camera, but did say that he hopes the focus remains on the search for Sebastian Rogers. And Griffin will be back in court on November 20th for 6 counts of a violation of protection orders.
A YouTuber tracking a teen's disappearance is now barred from discussing the case. News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry was in the courtroom.
Tensions ran high in the courtroom after the judge ruled in favor of the 4th order of protection against YouTuber Andrew Griffin. This decision comes a month after Griffin was last in court for 3 different order of protections filed against her. In court today, the defense attorney representing Griffin argued largely for her First Amendment rights. Griffin said multiple times on the stand that she never directly contacted Christopher, nor had ever met him. She did, however, state that she would visit his neighborhood to allegedly get a better understanding of the layout and put up flyers of the missing teen. And at one point, she also admitted to going to Christopher's place of work. Christopher also sat on the stand and claimed he felt threatened by Griffin. After a 9-minute video showing statements and a repeated pattern of actions by Griffin from her YouTube channel, the judge said she was harassing Christopher and granted the order of protection. The judge cited the creation of a t-shirt with Christopher's face on it and the posting of flyers with the alleged intention of gaining attention from Christopher as the reasoning.
States that she is an investigative journalist and that she reports on news and commentary. Somewhere along the line, this turned not into a pursuit to find Sebastian Rogers. It turned into a personal vendetta. You know, it's interesting that you came to Sumner County to help assist in finding Sebastian Rogers, but there's been really very little testimony by you of what you've done other than harass Mr. Proudfoot and Mr. and Miss Bowersocks.
Griffin is due back in court on November 20th for 6 counts of violating a protection order. In Gallatin, Caitlin Quisenberry, News 2.
All right, that about covers it for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Make sure to turn your bell notifications on. Until next time, be well.